Hey guys, let me get my coffee and we will start. I thought for sure I had all this set up. Oh, that's weird. I didn't even know I could be up there. Let's put me down there. Let's click on this and let's get to it. Good morning, cool cats and kittens. All right, let's do it. So, very first thing we're going to do is look at the market. And this is how I see it, and I think that this is the most important thing. You seem to be forming this wedge. And I don't think it's good. I've seen good before. I'm just not a fan of that kind of stuff. And here, let me just kind of. So when I see this, it's kind of an issue. For me, it is anyway. But it's not something that I got a bunch on here, guys. So you might see me look away. It's not something that I really think ends very well. And, if I look at it from that standpoint, right? And then if I just go here for a minute, we'll get rid of these. And then we go, okay, well, what else do we have? And I'm going to throw this up for a second. I'm going to leave this on. And we'll just redraw the whole sucker. So there's your levels right there. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. It's getting super aggressive. So you try to get to this whatever this is, right? This July 30th, 3 o'clock, disaster, which is probably Jay Powell again, right? Probably. I don't think I can blame him on that one. I think he's back here somewhere, right? He's on the 16th or something. Let's get rid of this because now it's overstayed its welcome. But he was down here somewhere, right? Wasn't he somewhere around here or he did something? There's Wednesday. There he is. I knew he was around here somewhere, that sucker. So you're unable to, it doesn't matter. You can't get through this level, right? All right. So we can't get through that level, and you can see the lower highs establishing themselves, and you can see the higher lows establishing themselves. So this needs to make a decision, and it's not making one. What it's doing is it's actually getting tighter. And when it starts to get tighter, that's something you want to be super aware of. Like, for example, see up in here, how all of a sudden that level is now becoming the new sell level, right? And so this little area, for whatever godforsaken reason, is now the cat's pajamas, and nobody can get over that. So once you start to see that, you just might want to let the things settle down and figure it out. And I will say this, a couple things on the RSI's front. You are seeing this kind of tell you and give you ideas on where these things are going to bounce, right? Like you get a pretty decent divergence there, and you're getting one right in here right now. You're getting a divergence right in there on a 5-minute chart. But, is that something you really want to play with? That doesn't mean it's going to hold. It doesn't mean that it can't come back down, undercut, and reset. It can. I don't know that I'd hang my hat on that right here. I think the way to really look at this is go out there on the 4 and understand that for the majority of time, and I believe I covered some of this last night, because you have a change. Like when you see the change in the trend, you want to pay attention, right? Like we all know, no liberation, and we all got liberated, and we couldn't handle all the winning, and so all the winning stopped, and then here we are. But if we go and take a look at this specific period on like a 4-hour, and you just kind of highlight all this, you'll note that the majority of when you're up is when you're above the neutral to overbought territory. Like it's just the way it is. You always want to be neutral to overbought. When you start getting to that undercut, and then you're under this level, like you can use a daily 4-hour, I don't care. You can use whatever you're comfortable with. Once that happens, you have a problem. And you can see you tried to rally, can't. Tried to rally, can't. I don't play around with that kind of stuff because to me, it's out there. And that means that this is where the pain trade is. And to me, the pain trade is the chop. Like that's where you're at right now. It's chop suey. So you just want to kind of be cognizant of that. Now, if you go and take a look at this on a 4, I get that we were oversold, and that's what they always do. They do the oversold on a Friday into Sunday night where most people don't trade, right? But if we take a look longer term at this and say, okay, well, what kind of trends do you really have down here? If you come down to, and I want to pick one, like right in there where the close was, there it is, and just kind of come up into that area. And people say, well, you should be using this. I'm going to use this down here, make sure it's on that little area that where you closed. I don't care about the wick. And then what I'm getting at is you could also argue that you have another one here, but I wouldn't argue that this one's as strong, but it's still there. They're still in the same area, right? You broke it. Like no matter what you think, you broke the trend. So then on top of that, you got this suck salad right here. Okay. And so far, you've broken that, tried to rally and failed. So if we go and take a look at that, this is what we have. We tested, we tried to rally. Now, do we hold the top of this or not? I don't have an answer to that just yet, but here's what I do know. I'm going to clean all this off. There's a massive, massive trade out there. Like a massive iron condor that got placed. It's like huge. And that usually means that you're going to stay in this range. And the range is like 6,300 to 6,350. And I can tell you that you're sitting on half of it right now. If they have to unwind that thing, man, we're going to get smoked. So, because they have to be in that range or they're going to have a problem or a blessing, a problem. And so you got to be aware. You got to be aware of it. You got to be really aware of it. Now, same thing here. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. It's the same thing. Like there's really not a whole hell of a lot to say about it. Like it's the same thing. Go look at the levels. And, you've got some good earnings. We're going to go through some earnings in a sec, but this is what I have. And it is what it is. Like maybe we do hold. Maybe it does. Maybe we do hold it here. So, and then we'll go from there. But this is how I say it. Right. So I just don't think that I need any other real levels besides fibs. Like they're so on point here. Like it just feels really heavy, man. And so I would be super, super careful here. Let's do some of this. Let's get to it. I got so much in my mind, guys. Bear with me. See where you're at right here? See how you acted? I think you can get back there today. I really do. I think you can get back to that 174. I don't think this was as bad as people think it is. See how here's your undercut, and then you see where you are here. Like you hit the lower low, but you're here. Like I keep looking at this, and my gut is I want to short it because it's a pig, but I think you can at least rally back. I think you have a shot at a gap fill at some point today on this. I don't think this was as bad as people think it is. And they're my levels. If you want to screenshot it, screenshot it. I really don't think it was as bad as people think it is. I think this was a freaking dumpster fire. And I think they lost a lot of credibility yet again last night. But you have a huge short position in this. So this can bounce on that. And that is definitely something people need to pay attention to. I'd watch that pre-market low on that. Shop is obviously the cat's pajamas. And they're the ones that, broke out, and they're the ones that are running. I would put an anchored VWAP there. But overall, I'm going to just go live and take questions because there's so many things. There's so many different ways I could go with today, guys. There's so much going on. And I'd focus on the micro. Like the way I always look at the market, it's always people say this kind of stuff to me. They're like, oh, you're too short term right now. You don't have a trend, man. If you don't have a trend and you're not short term, I don't know what you're doing. So you need to be that. You need to have you have to understand what kind of market you're in. You're trendless right now. Yay. Can I say something? Yeah. Good morning from Miami. You came in at 9 o'clock. You've been in the room for 12 hours. I really liked Oracle's action yesterday. I'll tell you what I didn't like. I bought it and then I was early, which happens to me. And then I got stopped out of the rest. So I made very little money on that trade, like very, very little money on it. I was trying to stay in it. I think they're the kinds of names you want to look at, the names that are closing at all-time highs. So whenever I have a pullback, like we had in the market, that's a pullback. Whenever you have some kind of retracement or pullback or setting a new level, when we rally, I always look to see what names are trying to close at new highs because it tells you what the market's buying. Market's buying this, hands down. All-time high close yesterday. So it tells you that. I mean, software's all-time high close. Oh, is it? Is it? Because Microsoft's got a bear flag at the top of the chart. Meta rejected the top of that doji and looks like it's about ready to just crush people. So I don't have them all looking that way. I was looking at crowd, and then crowd got over and then closed at the low. So, these things are cracking, and you really need to pay attention to that. They are definitely 100%, cracking. So from what I can see out there on some of this stuff, I think you need to take that into account. So for me, that's how I look at it. I don't know that I really want to go through all the software names, but I would look at IGV and say, is that going to go? Is that not going to go? If I look at cloud, it looks like a freaking dumpster fire. Not only and here's the problem with cloud. When you look at it, do you see the megaphone? So not only is it rolling, it's gaining speed into the roll. That's not there. It's here and it broke. So, I mean, that's a that's an issue, right? Because it's spreading out. So you're like, oh, I'll buy. And what happens is people keep getting whipsawed. Oh, I'll buy the breakout. Oh, I better get out to get the lower low. I'll buy the breakout. I'll buy the breakout. Like you start getting crushed, and it gets really violent through that when that finally settles. So I don't know. I don't know that it's significant. I don't know yet. Yeah, to me, this is just an outright short, but I'm just not there yet. I don't know that inflation doesn't kick up again. I don't really have an answer to that yet. So I haven't done anything there. You know, I'm not really sure what inflation is going to do. Bear with me, guys. All right, let's get rid of that so I can look at it, see what you're doing. Such an easy short yesterday. I wouldn't go near it yet. What's up, Jonah? Good morning from New York. Good morning from Miami. You're turning. Sit. Red on top means stop. Green on top means go. I know it doesn't rhyme. I know it doesn't rhyme, but there it is. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, Kev. I don't think I would do it. See all these wicks? See how you can't get above them? And then you hit it, rallies, rejection. See how they're all at the top right in here? See how they all flipped like they were all pointing down? And now they're all pointing up? And you're hitting that line. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think so, dude. I don't think I'd go near it right now. I don't think I'd go near it, Kevin. I really don't. I don't know that I'd be longing options there. Good morning from Tokyo. Good morning from Miami. TDW. These are all different. I would not touch that. Well, that's RDW, TDW. You know, I bought this keyboard. It's supposed to be fantastic. It's not fantastic. It's like they just make it silent and make it hit the keys I want. I don't know if the keys are too close together or it's my sausage-like fingers. You got to get over that. They want out, man. No, I couldn't go near that. Hold on. How bad is that? No, I can't go near that. You're overbought big time. And you're into that gap. You got to make sure you get through that, man. What else you got? These are the kinds of companies I'm super interested in right now. Yeah, like this kind of stuff makes tons of sense, dude. This kind of stuff makes tons of sense. Did you look at value versus growth lately? Like here's growth versus value, right? But watch. But wait, there's more. If I turn the sucker into a line, go on the hourly. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. All right. So what are you getting here? See the change? So you're starting to change. You're starting to buy value. You can see the top on it, right? So that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for now. You can see it with Philip Morris. Philip Morris, BTI specifically, because Philip Morris, Altria, all of them, go take a look. Yeah, I like this kind of stuff a lot. So people are looking for this kind of trade right now. I mean, I know I'm looking for this kind of trade right now. Ugh. I really don't want to wait for that. To start, right? Yeah, I think this can ramp, man. You could ramp. I like it. I like this a lot. I bet you did. Yeah, you did. You got your golden cross. So yeah, I wouldn't bet against that. I don't think you get hurt there, dude. I really don't. I think it's a great idea to be candid. Thanks, Jacob. I'm gonna look at that. I can't play that. You're already up there. Was it earnings today? Are you already in? I'll look at the end before I go. I can't touch that. I really like the Archer Daniels trade. Regionals, man. I got out of this the other day, and I was up $12, and there's some really weird stuff going on. So when I see this kind of stuff, like here, I'll show you what I mean. If you were to look at like TNX, right? So if I go here and go TNX, and we turn TNX into a line, and then you go here and you go KRA, you're going to see some similarities between these. Let's clean this up. You're going to see some similarities between these, right? When you spike, we drop, right? You're going to see some similarities. So there's a correlation to this thing. And you can really, like, if I zoom out, you can see the correlation, right? On how it acts. This is really what's freaking me out a little bit is I'm seeing, like, whenever I see correlations that don't work the way that they're supposed to work, my antenna goes up. And I saw it yesterday too. And it's definitely an issue. For me, it's an issue. It might not be for most people, but for me, it's definitely an issue. So I don't know, man. I don't know why we're rallying. There's only one reason. Like, there's only really one reason to rally. It bugs and not have regionals go higher, and it's not a good reason. So, it's a recession, candidly. So I don't know, man. It's definitely a pickle for me, and I read an article where they said that they don't think the numbers were bad enough for Powell to cut. Those numbers were bad. And I think if he saw those, I think he would have cut personally. I still think that there's a slight chance that he cuts before September. Good morning from Miami. I wouldn't go near regionals. The one that makes the most sense to me is like Sophie, but I think you're kind of hit for a while. I really like Sophie. I know Hood's not a regional. I really like Hood, but you got to kind of get it together here. So I'm not going to pay up for it. I was in some of these and I got out. Like some of them it's starting to look toppy to me. And so it's just from years of doing this, when you feel that way, like it's hard to explain because you start to feel it. Like, it's like, I don't know, man, like we're just not, you just don't have that umph, right? And you start looking at it like you shouldn't be fighting a 50-day moving average. You should hit it and bounce off of it. Like if you just sit there and it's like milquetoast, it's a matter of time. The harder you hit a level, the better, right? Like if you hit something and it goes and it bounces, you're like, oh, okay, it's on, like Donkey Kong, like that's my level. You hit something like a 50 and you just sit there, so, like, no. Well, I do have an article I just read on this, where 90 days are spiking again. They are spiking. And I think a lot of it has to do with the uncertainty of tariffs. I really do. Like, love or hate what he's doing, I really don't care. But like, get to it. Like, freaking get to it. Like, do it. And then let's move on, because then we know where we're at. It's the uncertainty. The other day I thought India was fine. They were like taking pictures. Everybody was like hugging. They love each other. And then it comes out to like India. Here you go. Wham, 50%. It's like I thought everything was good. Oh, we don't want you buying Russian oil. What about Europe? I mean, what are we doing? So, it's very difficult for people to commit large swaths of capital into like heavy equipment, things like that, or office space if they don't know where they're going to be stationed. It just is. It's very different than buying like a AI chip. So I don't know, man. It's been interesting to say the least. And I think that is creating I don't know that it takes us to a recession, but I do think it takes us to very slow growth. Because people are like, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to do nothing. Go look at the money market accounts and how much money people are just socking away right now. I don't know what that is, Groy. It's probably one of those little like things. Is this a little like a little miner? Is that what this is? Because I know PASS is, right? Yeah, I have one of these suckers that's on my list. I think it's SSRM. Here it is. So, you're up today. You must have had earnings or something. This one's been on my list, and this is beautiful. And it just based again. I've been watching this one. I tend to not play these names. I don't think there's a vehicle that in 26 years, I don't think there's a vehicle that I've done worse with than silver. And it's not like a limiting belief where I'm saying I can't trade silver. It's like empirical data that I can back up the statement with. I just don't have a good feel for silver. And so, it's like I should just Costanza it and do like the opposite of everything I would normally do. Silver is very interesting because of the reasons it's moving. I don't think it's moving for the reasons that people think it's moving. I think it's very similar to copper, to be honest with you. Like, I still think that this is the one. I keep looking at these names. But this is what I'm talking about, like with the uncertainty and the regional banks and the commercial real estate. Like, oh, copper's fine. We're going to need copper for all the chips, and we're going to put copper in there. And then it's like, wham, 100% tariff or whatever he did, And then it's like, okay, in one day, like you literally wiped people out in like, how long was it? Like 5 minutes? I mean, it really didn't even like, is that what it was? Like, it was literally like 5 minutes, right? You just crushed everybody. Copper prices, here's a 20% move in copper. Like, people are just, I mean, for lack of a better term, what's happening with the large pools of capital on the side, people are just literally looking at this going like, F this, man. Like, I'm just going to park my money over here and just wait for this to settle down. Like, and I understand why. SYM, this hit us. Those two hit a scan yesterday of mine, John. This on the vol, I didn't do anything with it. I would make sure you make the higher high. Best case scenario is my alert doesn't go off today on this, and I get a 3-day pattern. They're the best. They're the cat's pajamas. And the other one, lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink. Yeah, you can go. I've been waiting for this because they killed it here explaining their model, and I could not get over that didn't go. So 100%, yeah. I could never understand why we didn't follow through here. And if you look at this, and these quarters were not bad quarters, but if I go to here and I drop that down from that peak, you're over that volume profile high, but watch, but wait, there's more. This name's definitely on the radar, dude. From that break, look at that. So here's your break, right? And look, you're over that 78. You have not been able to get over that 78.6 right here. You have not been able to get over that, John. And there you are. You're over it on huge volume. So I do think you test 54. I do think you can get up there. I do like that name. I do think that makes sense. Is AMD growing on me? No, only like, syphilis, but I will trade it. I do need a sponsor deal from Hot Pockets. It feels that way, brother, doesn't it, Troy? It feels that way. LEU's a beast, dude. I keep telling people. Man. It's the one you want to buy, the ones that have like billions in revenue, because that's the one institutions are going to buy. They're killing it with these names, but long term, this was my thing right here. And I saw something that kept me out of it. And I regret that big time. But their earnings, man, it's only going to get bigger. I think people aren't getting this. Like, the amount of money that's being thrown at this by the government, who's got unlimited funds, they're not going to stop, dude. Now, you might not get that rally. Like, you might not get it today, right? Like, today might not be the day. But if you're not looking at like nuclear, I think you're making a huge mistake to not look at it. And I'm not in it as heavy as I want to be because of the recent pullback. I mean, this is my biggest nuclear position right now. As long as it holds, I'm happy. Shop's a beast. It's good. You guys are going to have a great day. Congrats if you're in that. I'm not. Good morning from Boston. I love Boston. Faneuil Hall. What a great area. Good morning, Holly. Good morning from Hanford. Washington's a beautiful state. Oh, peace. Yeah, we're just swimming in world peace. XDTE, X dividend date. Okay. I don't know what you're giving me. Is that this thing? Oh, you're getting your dividend today? Yay! 25 cents. I don't buy that one. I'll show you the one. I buy these. I was buying this down here at like getting 11% monthly. It's crazy what you can get off those things. Congrats. I buy these just because it's JP Morgan. It's the only difference, the only reason why I do those. I'm still short coin. I haven't really done anything. I don't really feel like there's a need to do anything. I would say that we were fortunate with the convert, but you could see something was coming the way it was acting. I really think you just wait for that thing to price because it's a bond, and then they're going to have to short stock against their allocation on the bond. So I'm not really sure what my Harry is to move there, right? Like, what's the Harry? Or as Jeff says, what's the Harry? It could just stay here, dude. It could 100%, Char. It could just stay here. You know, the thing about it is, like, it's not even, it's like these companies, they just have it on lock, right? Like O'Reilly split clearly. And you know, it's one of those names where people should just like buy and forget that they own. I mean, they really should. Like when I show people this, they're like, what am I doing? You know, you should like any of these names, like they just are literally on lock, right? AutoZone, like they are just monster trades, and they have it on lock. They have the entire auto parts industry on lock. And then you have this guy, right, who can just not get it together, like at all. Like their management is it's just so bad. Like these guys are just cash cows. They're just literally cash cows. It's like looking at Casey's and how well Casey's is run when you go and take a look at it, right? And then go look at how Exxon runs their gas stations versus like Casey's. Like it's literally crazy, you know, the difference. And the only thing you do with these names is you just buy them and you just forget that you own them. That's like literally the only thing to do with them. Like you just don't even pay attention to them. You just leave them on. Good morning from Hawaii. Nuclear looks great. NVO, I don't know. What are we dealing with? NVO. I mean, I was short. I'm not short right now, but you know, I wish you the best. MP, I think people need to be super careful of. I know a lot of people in the room, they've been in this since the break here, and I'm not in this, and they're killing it. I get more people messaging me. This is why I don't think it's over. I get more people messaging me, asking me, you know, should they take a profit? Do they want to move their stop up? I don't know what's going on with Russia. I don't know what's going on with Ukraine. I don't know that we don't need to pour billions into this company to get, like, I don't get it. So, and you have this massive short position. And I've been telling people since it broke out here, the shorts are not covering yet. So no one's panicked. And so what I have is I have a bunch of people that are short that are not panicked. I have a bunch of longs that are sitting on the hair trigger. You know, the real issue that you got to contend with is you have earnings. And I think a lot of people think that they're going to see the earnings numbers be fantastic. I don't think that's the play. I don't know that they're going to be. I mean, it's an absolute, what would I do? I can't tell you what to do. I can't give financial advice. I mean, they just outright just destroyed people, man. So like your goal there is to try to get out of like unless you want to own companies that miss earnings and lower guidance significantly, I don't know why you own the stock. So, I mean, for me, I would think, and there I go again thinking, I would think you bounce. I would think that shorts cover at some point today. But the implied volatility is going to crack, right? You're going to suck all that out. So, you can always just buy puts against it for like a month and just leave it alone and see what happens. See if you get a bounce and then sell it, like, so you have some kind of hedge. I'd be trying to figure out how I'm going to protect it. If I was long it, I'd have to really reevaluate my life. But like, if I was long it, I would be trying to figure out, like, do I want to just buy the 45s for like a month? And what does that cost me? Right. And then maybe sell calls to pay it off and collar the thing and then see if it can trade up at some point on news. Like buy puts, sell calls to pay for the puts, and then you're collared for like a month and then just see what happens and see over that period of time just to buy yourself some time. But this was a bloodbath, and this was it was like, that's a big miss, dude. Seriously, that's a real big miss. Well, here's the thing about the rumor, right? Like, I get like old man on a cloud yelling, like, there's no way that he's going to do this. It doesn't, when I really thought about it, and I still have some puts that are going to go become wallpaper, but like, when you really think about it, the rumor is enough to get the hoople heads in, right? The rumor is enough to get the hoople heads in, whether it's true or not. And then, one day they'll wake up and it'll be 187. I really don't see, this is me. And if they do it, I will buy UNH because that means they did their due diligence. I really don't see Buffett buying this company. Like, it does not fit any kind of narrative on anything. It is such a political football. And that's not what he does at all. So I don't see it, but weirder things are happening. Well, someone's got to be buying hardware. You're going to be buying hardware from somewhere, right? But is today the day that you have to get involved? I don't know. It's interesting. I'm going to watch this because you have a point. Like, is today the day? I think it keeps going. I haven't even looked at Disney, bro. Like, I'm so, I don't know. Usually, as long as it's not a dumpster fire, it's okay. You got people that just want to own it. I actually own Apple here. I don't know why I'm up $3 today, but I actually own Apple here. I mean, just to be candid, I've always tried to be like very open about what I'm doing. Something must have hit. Maybe they came out with iPants. Fig, I'm short. I think it's my big fat sausage-like fingers. I really don't. I really don't. Like, I had a position where I was up like $50 in. I blew it out, man. Like, I can't hold that. Like, that's telling me I have a problem. You reversed and then you encapsulate the reversed, and I've got a bear flag at the top of the chart. And I look like this? Not today, Satan. Not today. CBA. If you're in the LAB, I can't tell you what to do with your positions. I can't give financial advice. I mean, this thing's just a monster trade. Congrats to those that are in it. They killed it. They absolutely slaughtered it. They should be very happy. It's a royalty company. Is that what it is? Yeah, please hit the like button. Oh, is that what they? Yeah. I mean, there's some issues there still. I had it in the 40s when I did it. When I mapped it out, I had like 44 or something is where I'm at. But you're going to want to watch that. But I had something like 44. Affirm. What's up, Sir Zenos? Well, the other one, no, not a soul asked me about was this one. And I find that interesting. I'm going to tell you something. I went through this. let me tell you something. I went through this. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I thought it was decent. Like, I really don't get this. I would watch, let me find this 4 o'clock level right there, right? I would watch this level like a hawk, man. I don't know what the problem was here on this one. I really don't. I'm going to have to jump, guys. I'll say I'm going to start at 8:15 tomorrow, but at this point, we're just, lying to one another. I don't believe that it's at 70% of its value. That means you believe what the company's saying. I don't believe a thing coming out of this company's mouth. Man, you got to. And I'm not saying I'm right. Like, look, guys, I got guys in the community that this is what they do for a living. Like, they're in the healthcare space. I've got guys that have been doctors in that room for decades telling me, like, no, you need to get involved. This is going to be a great opportunity. They're doing all these structural things. I just feel like there's a shoe to drop, like another really big shoe, and then that's it. And I know people are like, well, it was 600, now it's 2. I'm like, you haven't gotten to the point where, like, the DOJ is investigating them, right? That has not wrapped up. So, yeah, sadly, I'm going to get stopped out of that. So I was up $200. I wrote it all the way back down because I really didn't feel like trying to buy it again. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. That was disappointing, but it is what it is. I wouldn't go near it now. I'm not shorting Netflix. The Affirm trade, you could motor today on that. You could definitely motor on the there's a couple things. Number one, I love bars that do this, but I wish that was green. So what I would do with this is think, like, up here, just to remind myself at that high, I'll put an alert. You could motor on this. And I think that the UPST could lift it. Like, I don't think UPST was that bad. You might want to watch that. I got to jump, guys, super late. Trade to win today, guys. Oh, if you're trying to get in the community, 3 days left, and then it'll be shut down for 30 days. If you're on the wait list, look for an email. Have a great day, everybody. Make good choices.